Our top story, hearts are heavy in Baltimore as one community remembers a 15-year-old girl whose life was taken far too soon.
Yeah, the story has captured the city's attention. Police say a 9-year-old boy shot and killed Nikayla Straughter over the weekend. And tonight, emotions ran high at a vigil in her memory.
That's when I knew my baby was gone. Nobody know that pain.
The vigil comes as we learn more about what happened on Saturday night leading up to the shooting.
Now, police have been calling this a tragic accident, but new information raises questions of whether it was in fact an accident.
Keith Daniels has been taking a closer look at this case. He joins us live now to explain more. Keith?
Well, Mary and Kai, police have released their preliminary details about this young girl's deadly shooting, but tonight we're hearing a different narrative from the victim's family.
On the block, outside the home where it happened, an outpouring of emotions over the shooting death of 15-year-old Nikayla Straughter, the alleged shooter, a 9-year-old boy.
Blood started pouring from her head onto my porch. That's when I knew my baby was gone. Nobody know that pain. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that pain.
We should not be having a visual for a 14, 15-year-old girl that was killed by a 9-year-old. Right. That should never happen.
If I want y'all to remember anything about that little girl, it was that she stood on this porch, yo, and she protected our family.
The shooting happened Saturday at a home on Leonard Street near Emerson Avenue. Police say the 9-year-old boy accidentally shot and killed the girl while playing with a loaded gun. But family members say it was no accident.
Not at all an accident. It was a very deliberate act of anger.
Raynard Parks, Nikayla's cousin, speaking for the family, says the shooting was the culmination of a weeks-long disagreement between the accused shooter and another boy, Nikayla's brother. Witnesses at the home say the alleged shooter showed up at the house that day looking for the boy, but instead confronted his sister.
That kid prematurely had an issue for weeks, and he came with a gun to hurt a little boy, and he ended up finding the big sister doing the noble thing, being the big sister and telling him he would not come outside, and he didn't. And the boy pointed the gun at her because of it.
Police say the investigation is still ongoing. Meanwhile, at the vigil, the painful loss of a young girl allegedly killed at the hands of a little boy with a gun.
Pulled it out and shot in the back of her head. That's not an accident to me. It's not. It's not. Justice. I want justice. And I'm not going to stop until I get it.
Well, according to state law, the 9-year-old boy is too young to be charged with a crime. Still tonight, the family is pushing for someone to be held accountable. Keith Daniels, Fox 45.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy J-Mo coming back in it again with another episode of Just in News. And again, I'd like to say thank you so much for all the comments, likes, and support on all the previous videos. Today, we are going to be jumping into a story that is truly unfortunate, very tragic situation that had happened. And as always, we are going to send our prayers, condolences, and healing energy to the friends, family, and the young lady who had passed away in this tragic situation. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and let's go ahead and jump into this video. Again, I would like to say rest in peace to Nikayla Straughter, age 15, sending condolences, prayers, and healing energy to the family and friends in this tragic situation. Baltimore Police Department on Sunday, August 14, 2022, identified the 9-year-old suspect in the August 6, 2022 shooting that occurred at the Straughter's family home on the 600 block of Leonard Street, saying the boy was playing with the loaded gun when it accidentally discharged, striking the 15-year-old girl in the head. The 9-year-old boy dropped the gun and fled the location, Baltimore Police Department said in a Facebook post. A search and seizure warrant was obtained. Officers gained possession of the gun and ran the serial number. Officers learned that the weapon is registered to one of the boy's female relatives who works as a security guard. Maryland law does not allow for 9-year-olds to be charged with a crime, but police are reportedly discussing potential charges related to the shooting with the Baltimore State's Attorney Office. Straughter's great-aunt, Donette McCray, told reporters that the young boy had gotten into a fight with Straughter's brother at least 2 times prior to the incident. He then arrived at the home carrying a gun, according to McCray. Straughter's family says the 15-year-old had big dreams and wanted to use whatever career she pursued to pave the way for the next generation. She makes everybody happy. She kept a smile on your face and mine, said Estrada's father, Dante Jones. Jones was with his wife and children when he heard a loud muffling sound come from the front porch. He said it was unclear if the sound was that of a gunshot. Jones went downstairs to investigate and found his daughter bleeding from the head, from the back of the head, and on the side. I couldn't really tell because there was so much blood everywhere, he said. Jones said he wants the person who shot his daughter to know they took a very precious angel away from the world, who will never be the same without her. The kid prematurely had an issue for weeks, and he came with a gun to hurt a little boy. And he ended up finding the big sister doing the noble thing, being the big sister, telling him that the little brother would not come outside, and he didn't. And the boy pointed the gun at her because of it. Raynard Parks, Estrada's cousin, told reporters. Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harrison told reporters Saturday night that there were multiple juveniles on their porch, and the detectives were working with multiple minor witnesses who all had parents and or guardians were working to contact. Nikayla Estrada's relatives and friends held a vigil on Tuesday to honor the teen, and also to voice their frustration over the investigation into her death. This is a tragedy for the Estrada family and the entire community. So far this year, the Baltimore Police Department has recorded 202 homicides as of July 23, 2022, compared to 191 at the same time last year. This is a 6% increase. The police department also recorded 415 non-fatal shootings as of July 23, 2022, compared to 380 at the same time in 2021, a 9% increase. In 2021, 107 juveniles under the age of 18 were arrested, including 97 for firearm-related charges or felonies, but only 5 were found guilty, according to data from the Baltimore City State's Attorney Office. It is very important to keep our children and families as safe as possible at all times, especially when in the presence of firearms within a residence. These tragic situations have no discrimination for anyone, and focusing on bringing awareness so that the necessary changes can be made is truly significant. I would like to say again, rest in peace to Nikayla Estrada, age 15, sending condolences, prayers, and healing energy to the friends and family in this tragic situation. If you find this information helpful and would like to continue the movement of spreading awareness, please join the family by clicking that like and subscribe button. Also leave a comment and let me know what you would do best to prevent this situation. New videos on the way each week with more stories and details behind situations that happen every day all around us. Always remember, on your bad days, someone is always going through something worse, and the best medicine of all is time to heal. Thank you everyone for the likes, comment, and support, and I'll see you in that next video.
I'm now Larissa Foste. A 15-year-old girl is killed in a tragic accident after being shot by a 9-year-old. It happened Saturday night in southwest Baltimore. WMAR 2 News' Nordea Lewis has the latest information, including who the gun belonged to.
It happened right here on her own front porch. Police say a 9-year-old was playing with a loaded gun when he accidentally shot 15-year-old Nikayla Estrada. Neighbors say the 9-year-old was going around the community showing off the gun and playing with it. But once it hit Estrada in the head, people say he immediately dropped the gun and ran away.
If that gun had been in the gun case, locked up, both of those children would still have futures to look forward to.
The gun was registered to the 9-year-old's family member who serves as an armed security guard. Estrada's family says they knew the boy well and is heartbroken by the situation. Nikayla's father says this is a nightmare he will never wake up from.
My daughter was laying right there in front of my mailbox, bleeding from her head. But when my wife picked her up, all the blood in her brains fell out into my wife's hands. Because it doesn't make sense for a child to have access to a firearm under no circumstances. There is no excuse for that. Because now my daughter will no longer be able to smile. She'll never have another birthday. We'll never be able to wake up with her.
The 15-year-old's family says Nikayla had big dreams and wanted to use whatever career she pursued to pave the way for the next generation.
She makes everybody happy. She kept a smile on your face and mine.
People say although the city may have programs to occupy the youth, they don't do a good job of promoting it. Neighbors say most of the time, kids are just sitting around because their parents don't know of any programs.
I don't know about anything that's going on, anything positive, I just don't. I don't see nothing. Where would I even find it?
I'm reaching out to the city of Baltimore, do something to help these children. So no more children like my daughter have to suffer like this.
The 9-year-old can't be charged for a crime due to his age, but police say they're working closely with the state's attorney's office and potential charges are pending. In Baltimore, Nordea Lewis, WMAR 2 News.